Will menopause cause high blood pressure? Yes, it can. Let's talk about how and what you can do about it. High blood pressure is often diagnosed in middle-aged people, and it's not just uncommon for women going through menopause to have been treated for hypertension. Hypertension is a sustained blood pressure over 140/90. The average healthy blood pressure is actually about 120/80. Clinically, it's best to keep your blood pressure under tight control because high blood pressure can lead to stroke, heart attack, macular degeneration in your eyes, and kidney disease. What we find as women go through menopause is that they tend to have a higher elevation in their blood pressure. And that's because estrogen levels fall in menopause, and estrogen stimulates collagen and elastin, which keeps your blood vessels soft and flexible. Now, if your vessels become hard and rigid, they create more resistance for your heart to be able to pump blood. That then increases your blood pressure. You'll notice this mostly in the systolic part of the blood pressure. That's the number at the top, versus the diastolic, which is the number at the bottom. The lower number, the diastolic number, is really reflective of how hard your heart is working. And the systolic number at the top is reflective of how much resistance is in your blood vessels. Your heart has to pump with so much greater force in order to move blood against tight menopausal vessels that your blood pressure starts to rise. If your vessels are very tight because you've developed arteriosclerosis, meaning that you have clogging of your arteries, then your heart is going to have to work a lot harder. So blood pressure issues are not uncommon in menopause, but they don't happen to all women. And that's because lots of women have really healthy vessels to start with, especially women who are very active throughout their reproductive years, women who maintain their ideal body weight and eat a healthy diet. And don't get too stressed out. These fit, relaxed women will come into menopause with healthy vessels and maintain normal blood pressure throughout their lives. Women who come into menopause with chronic diseases like diabetes, women who are obese, women who have a tendency towards high stress response are more likely to have high blood pressure issues. Their HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, is constantly in fight or flight mode, so they tend to be hyperreactive to stress. So when they go through perimenopause and their progesterone starts dropping, their adrenal glands are less supported. Their stress response is higher, and all that extra cortisol causes inflammation. Over time, that inflammation increases the likelihood that the blood vessels develop arteriosclerosis. So it's really important that you keep your hormones in balance the best you can throughout the change. Your hypothalamus also helps to control your blood pressure by producing a hormone called vasopressin. Vasopressin controls the volume of fluid around your cells. Vasopressin is also known as anti-diuretic hormone and affects your kidneys' production of urine. The more vasopressin, the less urine output. The higher your blood volume is, which increases your blood pressure. So when your hypothalamus is out of balance, vasopressin production can be erratic, causing fluctuations in your blood pressure. One of the best ways to deal with hypertension going through the change is to get your hypothalamus in balance. Supporting your hypothalamus can help keep your blood pressure stable. It normalizes your stress response and your vasopressin levels. Getting enough sleep also helps to support your hypothalamic dysfunction, which I know is really hard because menopause wakes you up in the middle of the night. It's all the more reason to balance your hypothalamus nutritionally because it will help with your sleep. And making sure that you keep your weight within 5% of your ideal really helps to lower your risk for hypertension and cardiovascular disease. So exercise and a diet that's low in starchy, sugary carbs with adequate protein and healthy fats and lots of colorful fruits and vegetables will make a big difference in keeping your blood pressure in control. Now, if you have hypertension that runs in the family, know that while there are some aspects of genetics affecting your blood pressure, hypertension is usually lifestyle related, meaning you learn the same habits as your parents, you eat the same way, you may be as sedentary as them, you react to stressors in the same unhealthy way. Lifestyle makes a huge difference in how you're going to age. So if you're a younger woman, this is really the time to get in shape and really focus on your cardiovascular health. Exercise is key to bringing that blood pressure down. One of the things that I like to tell my patients when they're monitoring their blood pressure is to take their blood pressure first thing in the morning and then take it about at least within 30 minutes after they exercise. If their blood pressure is lower after exercise, that's a good indication that they still have healthy, elastic blood vessels, and that most of their blood pressure issues is related to stress. Waking up in the morning with a higher blood pressure can indicate a higher cortisol level. Starting your day in a fight or flight mode will cause inflammation, leading to chronic high blood pressure. So controlling that level by getting your hypothalamus in balance to control your HPA axis is key to maintaining a healthy blood pressure, a healthy, safe blood pressure. Now, we're getting a lot of questions about this in our hormone support group, which you can access by signing up for my Hormone Reboot training. We talk about everything hormone related, including blood pressure and cardiovascular health. Anything related to hormones, and believe me, it's all hormones, because your hormones control pretty much every aspect of what's going on in your body. And so it's really important that you keep your hormones in balance. I really feel that balancing out your hypothalamus gives you the best chance to keep your hormones in balance, especially as you transition through the change of life. It'll make it as graceful as possible. In the meantime, I've got more information for you on how to stay healthy in menopause and how to deal with the myriad of symptoms in menopause. But I'd really like to end with how super important it is that you keep yourself in shape. Even in midlife, it's never too late. Women who start exercising and eating healthy at midlife can actually lower the risk for diseases that they were at high risk for, like heart disease, stroke, and diabetes, by getting in shape. So the sooner you start being proactive with your health, the better. So watch out for my next video on more women's health tips.